Okay, let's do a quick little flow for digestion. There's a lot of things that you can do, but twists and circles tend to be very good just for getting peristalsis moving and getting things going in your body. So I like to start with just hip circles. I'm gonna move through things rather quickly, but if something feels good in your body, just sit with it, pause the video, do it on your own, this is just to give you some ideas. So you wanna keep your shoulders relatively still, feet pointed forward, and you're just going to circle your hips. I don't want a wide circle where your shoulders are moving, so keep those still, and you're using your deep core, your hips, you're circling the hip socket, you're using your abdominals and getting the trunk circling. So just a couple times in each direction, switch sides. I like to do this when I'm brushing my teeth, although that is quite a coordinated task, but I use an electric toothbrush so I don't have to, pat my head and circle my belly at the same time. My feet together, and same thing. Now you're doing smaller circles, much more isolated. Make sure you're breathing. Breathe on that forward pull. Exhale. 2 more. Good, 1 more. The other way, pull on forward, drawing little circles, keeping your shoulders still. Good. All right. And then if you just widen your feet still pointed straight forward, come straight down, drop your head, stretch out those hamstrings. Grab one foot with one hand and open up. You can either put your hand on your hip or your leg to get a little more lift. Pull through the hand on your foot, or you can reach up to the ceiling and just breathe. Deep breaths into those ribs, into your back body. Good. Come to the other side, grab the outer border of your foot and peel open. Look up to the ceiling. Good. And come on back down. And now we are going to come down to the floor and come into a half kneeling position. And you're going to first just make sure you have that tuck on your pelvis, because if you're just kind of hanging out, you're going to wind up popping those ribs and arcing your pelvis, right? So we're going to pull up on that pubic bone and keep those lower ribs in, all knitted together in the front. And then you come forward a little bit to feel that stretch on your hip flexor, and then just come up. Coming up to the ceiling, don't crunch in your low back, so you're making this arc type of motion. Come up from the hips and breathe. Good, and come on back down with control. Then you're going to take your hands on the back leg side. You're going to come up and over, stretch out that side body, keep this all in the front. Good. About 2 or 3 good breaths in each position. Then we're going to come into a twist. So on the outside of your knee, but don't let your knee come in, outside of your knee, and you're just going to peel open and breathe. Keeping that rib to pelvic alignment, nice and tall through the neck. Good. And come on to the other side. Switch legs. Good. First thing, pull up on that pubic bone, tuck those ribs in, make sure your spine is nice and straight, nice and aligned, and then come on up and arc backward as much as you want to, but toward the ceiling. So you're not just hanging out on your ligaments, you're actually coming up with stability, moving into mobility. Good. Bring yourself back down and over. And breathe. Same thing here. Don't just crunch. Come up like an arc out of your hips. So your feet are, your legs and your feet are grounded down. You're coming up and out from the ground. Good. And then just hand on the inside and open up. Nice and tall through the neck. Good, a couple breaths here. Breathing into that back body. Good. And now come on down to child's pose. Get that compression through your belly. Keep your knees close, or you can have your knees wide. But knees close will give you a little compression through the belly. Then you can walk your hands over to one side. Walk your hands over to the other side. Good. Come on up onto your hands and knees. Shoulders down and back. Shirt down. Okay, up on your hands and knees. And you can move through a couple of just cat-cows. Exhaling as you round. Inhaling as you come down. Good. Good. And then come back to neutral. And I like coming into the puppy pose. So your hips are going to stay up. You come down. Let your thoracic spine just sag. Okay. And then come on back up to neutral. This shirt is a problem today. Come back up to neutral. And then we're going to thread the needle. So bring your arm through, shoulder onto the ground, and press through your hands to come into a twist. Make sure your hips don't shift over to the side. Keep them right aligned up over your hips and you'll feel that stretch. Nice deep breaths. Every inhale opens those ribs a little bit more. Good. Come on up to the other side. Okay, and again, get those hips back in alignment. Nice big breaths into that whole canister. Good, and come on back up. And now just come onto your back. And we're just gonna take it here into knees up. You can hold onto your feet if you want to come into happy baby, but hugging your knees into your chest. And then you can even do small rotations one way, small rotations the other way. Neck nice and long. Then extend one leg out. And you're going to come into a twist. Bring that leg over. Open up and just breathe. Good. And then come back. And come on to the other side. Knee up, leg out. Then cross over and open. Neck nice and long. And then just come on back. So that's just some examples of what you can do at the end. If you open your feet a little wider than your hips, and then just let the knees come together and just rest here for a moment. You can even give your belly some love if you are having any digestive issues. If you circle in a clockwise direction, whether you're looking at your stomach, like someone's looking at your stomach, or you're looking down at your stomach, it's the same direction. So clockwise direction, up under your ribs, down the side, and across under your belly button. Just give your belly a little bit of love. the direction that things move through your system. So you're just kind of stimulating and encouraging if you are having any troubles. And your legs are just in a relaxed position. Just a nice thing you can do, or you can just lie here and breathe if that works better for you. All right, good. So happy digesting.